Hello everybody, Bill Platt here, and I've got a new video lined up for you today. Let me go ahead and close out some of these sections here to knock down the confusion. What I'd like to talk to you about today is in recent weeks, we've seen Createspace taking longer to approve books than what is normal. Typically, it takes 18 hours or so for them to approve a book after we submit it. And since the July 4th, 2018 weekend up until now, which is middle of August, they have been taking as much as 3 to 4 days. Now, the books I submitted yesterday did not take 3 to 4 days. They took roughly 18 hours to get all approved. So that it's something that did happen and something we might have to face again, but it's not something that seems to be an issue right now. Okay. But anyway, Createspace was swamped, and this is the reason for this video today. Now, typically Createspace is owned by Amazon, and typically the way the whole system works is you submit a book to them for upgrading or for listing on the Amazon website. You upload the book. They go through and they manually approve it, make sure that your title is right and all that good stuff, and that everything's demonstrated the way it needs to be demonstrated. Then they approve it, and then they send it back to you for final approval. And so their only real investment is hard drive space and the time it takes to manually approve what you've sent in to them. And typically they do allow anything to be submitted without any regard whether it'll make money or not. They figure that if they've got it in stock, then they might be able to make some money on it. They don't know yet whether your particular book's going to make money, but they're at least giving you the opportunity to post your book on their website for resale purposes as a print-on-demand paperback book if you're using Createspace or Kindle Paperback, or as a digital book if you're doing ebooks. Now, if you're doing journals and such, ebooks doesn't apply to what we're doing because we need to put those out in the print-on-demand format, okay? So, the issue that we've been seeing in the last few weeks, it could just be that people are submitting too many books. It could be that people are on vacation at Createspace and they don't have enough staff on hand to approve the books in a timely manner. And it could also be that they're short staffed right now and they just can't get to the books that are available. But some people have been restricted on what they can submit. That's not, as far as I'm concerned, that's probably not an issue most of us will experience. But I just wanted to put it out there just in case it is something that becomes an issue going forward. As far as what I've seen over the years, I've been submitting books to Amazon for years and years, either as Kindle format or later as a print-on-demand book. I started doing Kindle format in 2010, which is the ebook format. And then in 2014, I started doing the print-on-demand through Createspace. So this is something I've been around for a long, long time. But people come in waves. New people come in. They discover the opportunity available to us through Kindle publishing and through Createspace publishing. And they get really excited about the possibilities. And they start submitting a whole lot of books. And then they realize for whatever reason their books didn't sell or whatever. And then they get disappointed and they give up and then they drop away. And that's always been the case over several years. No matter what brings people into it, people will get, they'll get excited. They'll submit a lot of content, whatever, a lot of books. They'll upload a lot of books. And if they don't get immediate gratification from the sale of those books, then they move on to greener pastures, leaving the marketplace for people like you and I to continue to do well because we have the stick-to-itiveness that they do not have. Okay? And so for me and you, just for the record, there's a lot of things. I was that way when I started with article marketing. At first, I started doing a whole lot, and then I wasn't seeing the kind of results I want right away. So I gave up and kind of blew it off and went on and started doing other things, and then realized, oh, wow, it's working. So Kelly Roberts, when she started doing journals, she said she did about 500 journals her first year, and then she kind of forgot about it, didn't pay really close attention to it, and then at the end of the year, she went back and looked at her royalties and realized she's got something there, and then she went back and started doing it full time. And myself and Diane, or Di Hauser, and several others of us, we've been through the same cycles where we get excited, we produce a lot of content, then we kind of set on the back burner, and then we realize later this is actually working, so we need to invest more of our time into it. And so, whereas you and I, we have the fortitude and the foresight to stick with a good opportunity when we see it. Not everybody does. So our competition will eventually fall away, and that will leave more of the customers for us to take advantage of. So not so much take advantage of the customer, but to take advantage of the opportunity. One option when Createspace is overwhelmed is to use KDP Paperback. Now, KDP Paperback was originally created for people who do Kindle books. And according to the people we've talked to at Createspace, Amazon, which does own Createspace, does not intend, at this time, they are of the belief that Amazon does not intend to eliminate Createspace as a publishing platform. The KDP Paperback was specifically set up to lure people who do ebooks into doing more print books. So the KDP Paperback is set up to take the people who are used to publishing Kindle books and get them into publishing print books through the KDP Paperback program. Now, when Createspace gets bogged down, if it's taking 72 hours or 96 hours to approve a book, it might make sense for us to go over to KDP Paperback and submit our books there. Now, it takes a little bit longer to submit on KDP Paperback, and their cover creation tool is Mickey Mouse, to say the best. I really wasn't impressed with it, but at the same time, if it's going to take 3 to 4 days to get approved on Createspace, if I can get approved faster on Kindle Paperback, KDP Paperback, then that may be a good option for me. Now, I can't look at and say for sure that when Createspace is slow, KDP Paperback is running fast, because I've not done the comparison when Createspace is dragging its feet, and I haven't done the KDP Paperback as a fair assessment of, is one faster than the other. I don't know. So I can't tell you what is the best out there, but it is another option for you, and it may deliver what you want, which is speed to publication. There are many marketplaces for which you and I can promote and sell our books. Now, with the advantage with Amazon through Createspace and KDP Paperback is we do not have to bring our own ISBN numbers. Ingram Spark is kind of the competition. But with Ingram Spark, you do have to provide your own ISBN numbers, which can be pricey. You go to myidentifiers.org and you purchase blocks of ISBN numbers. And if I remember right, the single ISBN is like $95. 10 ISBNs is like $250. 100 ISBNs, and don't quote me on these prices, But 100 ISBNs is approximately 500. Like I said, I don't remember the exact number on it, but I know it's set up where it gets cheaper and cheaper and cheaper as you buy more volume. But the thing of it is, how many of us have $200 or $500 to drop on ISBN numbers? Now, everybody I talk to pretty much agrees with my position on this, that we don't treat Ingram Spark as an alternative to Amazon. We treat it as an add-on to Amazon. So Amazon allows us through Createspace or KDP Paperback to publish our books print on demand through their company to sell those books on Amazon. And we do not have any out-of-pocket expenses in order to do that. Amazon provides to us the ISBN numbers. Now, if we have a book that's selling well on Amazon, then we absolutely want to take it also over to Ingram Spark, which will get that. It's pretty much Ingram Spark pretty much handles the distribution for any bookseller in the United States with the exception of Amazon, and it handles distribution to foreign countries. So if you want to reach more people, get on Ingram Spark and publish through there as well, but understand you will have to purchase your own ISBN numbers, whether you purchase one or a block of 100 through myidentifiers.org. Then that's the way to go. Typically, the way I look at it is if we are just testing a new book idea and it's not yet proven itself to be a good seller, then we only publish on Amazon through Createspace or KDP Paperback. But when it starts making money, then we take it over and put on Ingram as well to get that additional distribution for that particular title. Now, it's estimated that Amazon sells 1 out of every 2 books sold in the United States in any given calendar year. Ingram Spark will help you get that other half, right? It'll get you access to that other half of the audience out there. Ingram Spark will also get you into foreign markets. And so those are options that you should consider. But do understand you will have to buy your own ISBN numbers if you're publishing through Ingram Spark. There are other print-on-demand sellers that we could use. Lulu is an option, but it's an expensive option. But it is an option. So with like other bookstores or other stores, like for example, we sell a bunch of stuff off of Etsy. And we also sell from our own websites. And when you're selling from Etsy or your own website, you don't necessarily need an ISBN number. An ISBN number is used by a physical bookstore or online bookstore to source a book. So they use the ISBN number to look into the catalog and find your book and find out how much it is to purchase on wholesale and where they're going to source that book from. So when they they pull up the ISBN number for Ingram Spark, then they're going to be presented with the pricing from Ingram as far as purchasing your book wholesale. And if your ISBN points to Createspace, it'll give them the pricing from Createspace. And Ingram Spark, if you're a local booksellers prefer to buy wholesale from Ingram Spark because they are cheaper than Createspace. Okay? And there's a lot of other advantages go along with that, but that's the main point there. So do get your books listed on Ingram Spark if it makes financial sense to do so. So maybe you're only making $100 a month off that title. That would justify spending the money to get ISBN number so you can also sell that book through Ingram Spark. And that way you're selling on Amazon and everybody else, right? So there is the different, and then there's like Draft to Digital. You can put your books up on Draft to Digital and they will export it to the other bookstores like Barnes & Noble, iBooks, and the Apple Bookstore, and several others. So They give you access to some of those other marketplaces as well, which is advantageous to us if we want to go that route. And then Drafted Digital takes a percentage of the sale as their cost of providing a service to you. So those are different options to get your books out to more potential consumers. The As far as like when we sell books on Etsy or on our own website, we typically print those using Createspace, and we buy them wholesale directly from Createspace, and then we ship them directly to our customer from Createspace. Now, there are other printers around where we can possibly go ahead and print our books in softcover format or even spiral format. We can send them directly out to the customer, and that's fine. Whatever works for you. It's just a matter of knowing where you're going to source it, knowing how much you need to sell your book for in order to make a profit, and then when you get somebody to actually make a purchase, fulfilling that order that has just transacted, okay? And so with the other marketplaces, we got the Etsy and from your own website. You don't need ISBN numbers for those because you're only selling direct to consumer. If you're going through iBooks, Barnes & Noble, some of the other online bookstores, you do have to have an ISBN number. Whether that ISBN number is given through Createspace or KDP Paperback, or whether you brought your own ISBN number to Ingram Spark, that really doesn't matter. So, but the ISBN is going to help people figure out where they can go to buy your book as a wholesale customer, as a retail store purchasing your book, okay? And then the last step in this process is be prepared to do what other people will not do. And this is kind of what comes down if you're looking to sell more books than the next guy or the next person. This is what you need to take to heart. Be prepared to do what other people will not do. Like, for example, selling from my own website. I sell a lot of books from my own website, and a lot of people consider that a little too difficult to do because I have to build a sales page, I have to build a payment system, I have to build a product delivery system. When they make that purchase, I have to collect their address, and then I have to actually mail the book to their house or whatever. And for a lot of people, that's just one step too far. It's just too much work for such a small amount of money because we're only making $4, $5, $10 per copy sold. So most people say that's just a little bit too far to go. The rest of us, those of us who make a little bit more money, we're willing to do those few extra things other people aren't willing to do. And the average self-published author only publishes on Amazon. So they're using Createspace and they're using KDP Paperback and they're selling on Amazon, but they might do the Etsy thing and the own website thing and source their books through Createspace and send them out directly to their customers, but they probably won't take on that Ingram Spark because they have to buy the ISBN number. And realistically, you know, if it's a matter of your book is selling well through other channels, then one more channel is to your benefit. And that Ingram Spark will get you into other stores. So that's what I wanted you to consider in this training. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap up right here. And I will be doing more of these videos going forward. So I hope you found this useful. I hope you found it helpful. And until next time, my name is Bill Platt.